Okay, so today we are doing speaking, and this is speaking assessment E on the March 2024 paper. And we have Ima coming up first. So let's start with the warm up. Ima, where do you live?
Okay,
Ima?
wait a second. Okay, so I live in Saudi Arab, the country, and the area, like, or the city in which I live, is next to this big capital of Saudi Arab, Riyadh. It's the next city, Al Kharaj.
Okay. Now, right, again, the purpose of the warm up is just to get you relaxed into the speaking mode. Right.
Hmm.
So in these and as you can see, there are three questions given. The examiner might not ask you all three of them, they just might ask you one and then move on. So whatever answer you give to this is not graded, it is not assessed, so it doesn't matter. But right, just be ready, because as soon as we start the interview, right, then the quality of your answer will be judged. Okay,
All right.
so because we're practicing, I want to ask you all three of your warm-up questions. Right, what did you
All right.
do during your last holiday?
For my last holiday, I went to a city near my city, like the city where I live. The next city where I went was Makkah. It's basically a city where us Muslims perform prayer. So I went there and to do a pilgrimage, Umrah. I also went Medina, the next city, for worship. We only go there to perform our worship, and also we explored the city. We went to the park. We went to different, historical places of the city. We explored.
Okay, what kind of music do you listen to?
I like to listen to pop musics. Other people believe that they like, the musics which are having meaningful lyrics. I don't really understand the lyrics. I only focus on music, like if it's high pop, if it's having a high beat music, I like those musics. Having high beat. I don't care about the lyrics.
Okay, now I just point out that your responses did have grammatical errors, right? They had grammatical shortfalls. But again, I didn't stop you there because, uh, right, this is just the warm up. Assalamu alaikum, Afan. How are you doing? So, Aima has volunteered to come up first for the speaking. So, you can spectate. All right, Aima, now we are beginning with the interview questions, right? And so now you need to be particular about your response, right? You need to have proper grammar, you need to have a proper answer, proper structured organization. Okay,
I will try, sir.
so I'm going to ask you some questions about books. Okay,
Okay.
Aima, what types of books do young people enjoy reading and why?
I think that they enjoy reading fantasy books. Like young people, they really like to imagine things and be in completely different world away from reality. So I think they enjoy fantasy books. Also, some people also enjoy, personality development books, because this creates a whole different personality into these people's. They can explore, and
Are you done?
yes, I'm done.
Okay, so the personality development books, I believe you are referring to what are called self-help books.
Yes,
Okay, so that's the term you'd want to use, self-help,
self-help books.
right? And fantasy works, you could have, generalized that more as to fiction. So they enjoy reading fiction and then saying especially fantasy. You could name certain books if you are familiar with them, uh, right? Just to stretch your point, I guess. And you said that you like to imagine and think of another world. There's you could say, right? Perhaps it's about escapism from the responsibilities of being a student. Escapism is when you try to do something else to avoid what's going on in real life. Okay, so they read fantasy
Alright.
to imagine themselves in the world that's presented in that book, to avoid thinking about or facing the real world issues. Of course, I mean that's sort of like a pessimistic thing to say. I mean, it's just an idea. You could say that, or the enjoy the adventure and the magic and the characters, and it's fun. You could obviously give it a positive note. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Next up, there is a lot of background noise. Could like
I'm sorry, wait. Yeah, so actually, the thing is that there's family over our house, like guests came.
hmm,
So that's why I'm out in balcony so I can attend the class.
hmm.
Sorry about that. And it's traffic today. So
You're you're
maybe that's
you're
why.
enjoying the evening.
View, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay.
Sunset.
Okay. Yeah, it is 5:15 over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Continuing, Aima. Can you tell me about a story you have read recently and what it was about? Now, before you respond, even though the question is asking you something you've read recently, you could mention something you read 5 years ago. The examiner is not going to come to your home and check. Okay.
Yeah.
So just
That's it.
mention any story that you recall from a book that you've read. If you can name the book, that's even better, right? Although that puts you sort of in a situation, perhaps that you name a book and the examiner knows what book that is, and you tell a different story. But right, if you want to name a book, if you know what that is, then you can mention that. If not, you can just tell that I read this story and what it was about. You give details. So just I just want to say that even though the question is asking you recently, it doesn't have to be a recent book. In fact, it doesn't even have to be something you read. It could be a video you saw. It could
Oh,
be
thank God. That was my main point here. Because I never read books. So,
you
yeah,
you
I
should
will.
you should, right? I mean,
Yeah,
if
you
it
should.
and if you're going to say that I haven't found a good book, I don't find it interesting, it's probably because you haven't found a book that is interesting to you,
Yeah, probably.
right? So you could take a story that you saw in a video, or you could take a story that a friend told you and say, well, I recently read a story about so and so and so, and you could say I read it in a magazine, or I read it on an online blog. And that way, what you're doing is you're keeping it anonymous, right? So instead of taking the name, if you're saying, oh, I read the Harry Potter book, and so that's so famous, you can't really fake it,
So
right?
that's what I was going to say. That's the thing that I was going to say.
Right, so you can't really fake it because, like, people know Harry Potter, right? People know these famous books, and so you can say, oh, I read the story on a blog. And it's like, okay, fine, it could be any blog, it could be any story, whatever, just tell me what it's about.
So can't I make it like I read this famous movie called not movie like book called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It's basically about this amazing or like magical college Hogwarts where students go to learn about magic arts, and this boy named Harry basically enters the college as a first year student. He explores the way, he explores how the system is, he explores what magic there could be, he makes new friends, he sees other professors like that.
I mean, carry on, that was a good response, carry on, complete that.
Okay, so should I start again or
No,
should
no,
I
no,
just
carry on, carry on,
carry
carry on.
carry on? Okay, so this student named Harry basically enters this college or like school where they teach magic arts, and we as like audience, like we see in the movie through Harry's perspective. How we see it is like he carries. Oh my gosh, I messed up so bad.
You had a good start.
Yes, oh, I don't know.
Okay, now see, you said you haven't read the book, so right, you are presenting the story from the movie, so you've seen the movie and you're
Yeah.
presenting it as the book. Now this works because the movie is based on the book, so it works,
Oh,
right? I mean, if there's a movie that is not based on a book and you say, oh, I saw, I recently read a book that's called, I don't know, Mission Impossible, and you're like,
yeah.
yeah, okay, fine, so that's not a book, right? That's a movie, and so that sort of like puts you in that situation where, right, the examiner knows very well that you're making it up, because Mission Impossible is not a book, right? And the reason I mentioned book is because it's about a story that you read, right? So that wouldn't work. Now, the where you messed up, right? You sort of like lost track of what you were saying, and you
Yeah,
also
exactly.
and you also said, and so in the movie we see Harry, and like, no,
Oh,
you said that, you said in the movie,
oh,
okay?
yes, I could clearly see why. So I don't know what's wrong with me. Like once I start speaking and forming a good response, automatically my brain just stops.
I think you're either anxious and nervous that you need to get it right, or perhaps you're trying too hard.
But sir, I have observed this one thing. When I'm talking to the person, like in real life, not through video call or something, what I do, I use my hands to explain. So maybe that's why I'm not getting the point right now,
So do
because you
it.
can't see.
Do it.
Sir, right now I can't open my camera,
No, no,
but
no, no, no,
inshallah
no, no,
next
no, no. I don't need your camera. Just use your body language as well.
okay, I will try. So
Just,
like in exam, we also observe the body language.
they don't. But if that's going to help you in your
Yeah,
speaking,
that will help.
then do it.
Okay,
Just
I
make
will
sure
try.
just make sure you don't hit the examiner when you're waving your hands about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, or
yeah.
you don't bang the table or something,
Yeah,
or you stand up and start roaming about. Just don't do that. But if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
if you're used to, like, rolling your eyes, or making expressions, or moving your hands about when talking, and that makes you feel comfortable, I don't need your camera to be on. You can just, like, we are talking, right? I can't see you moving your hands. I don't need to see you moving your hands. The examiner will see you moving your hands, obviously, but if that makes you more confident, then do that.
Yeah, that's
Right?
oh,
Start now. Okay?
alright.
So let's do this one again. Can you tell
Oh
me?
no.
No, yes. Right?
Oh, sir.
Yes. Can you tell me about a story you have read recently and what it was about?
Okay. So I read this story about a young boy with who enters this college of arts. So basically in the story, what it's about, first let me tell you the name of the story. It's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So this boy named Harry is like an 11-year-old, and he gets a letter from this magical college, like a college which teaches like magic arts and stuff. So he gets that letter, invitation letter, which is inviting this boy to the college. So he went there and he explores the college. He sees like the magical system of the college, how the college teaches. It's like an ordinary it's not an ordinary college, it's a different college. It doesn't teach you about like science, chemistry, about anything. It teaches you about magic. It teaches you how to make magical potions, how to hypnotize, how to fight evil creatures in magical land. It's basically, the college name is Hogwarts. And through the point, like through the perspective of Harry, the young boy who entered the college, we can see the college, like how the people are there, how professors are there, how they teach, how different students are there. It's all about this magic fantasy.
Okay. So at
Okay,
least,
it's much better.
yes, it was. I mean, I can point out some areas of improvement, but you did not get stuck.
Yeah, thank God.
You did not get stuck, right? And you were, at least fluent with your expression. Now, one grammatical error you made is you said that he was invited to attend the college, and so he went there. Now, I'm saying that that was a mistake. Why? Because the rest of your response was pretty much in the present tense, right? So
Was it?
he is invited, he goes there. So you want to say he goes there, right? And he explores and he learns. So all of this is present tense. So if you're using he went along with all of that, you're going to lose marks for your grammar,
All right.
right? Now, because I've read all 8 books of Harry Potter. In fact, they were published during my teenagers,
Well,
right? So I actually pre-ordered the last book, like in the main series, book number 7, Deathly Hallows, right? When it was
yeah.
released. So I know the story, right? And I could say you missed out on the main juicy parts of the story, but yeah, okay, right? I am pretty sure the examiner is not going to uh, count that whether you gave an accurate account of the story or not, right? That's not the focus. Okay, moving on. Do you think it is easy to write books? Why or why not?
I think it can be easy. I'm not sure because in order to write a book, you should have this designed story, and you should, pick out or like create suitable characters with like great mentality. Oh, sir, can you give me a minute? It's like Azan is going on.
Yeah, sure.
Give me.
Okay.
Okay.
So, do you
So,
think
do you think?
it is easy to write books? Why or why not?
Writing books basically involves a great imagination. Like, in order to write a good book, what you have to do is basically design a story, and you have to create such characters which fit into the story perfectly, or the way they act, the way they behave in the story should also match the story. It could be a challenge for those who are not having a great imagination, but for me, I'm having a kind of like a good imagination. So it could be tiring, it could be a challenge, but it's not something impossible for me. I can do it.
Okay, now technically they didn't ask you whether you're writing a book or not. It was more general, but if you include yourself as part of the answer, I guess that works. Okay.
Okay?
All right. Next up is the short talk. Right. This is where you will get a card from the examiner. Right. So it'll look like the boxed content over here, and you get a minute to prepare, and you're not allowed to write anything. Right. So it's all in your head. So here we have the question. I'm spending time with friends. You and your friend have decided to do something together at the weekend. You are considering the following options: either going to the cinema or going to the local shopping center. Talk about how enjoyable each option would be. Say which one you would prefer and why. Okay, now you've got a minute to think about this, and when you're ready, let me know. Okay,
Alright.
all right,
Okay.
so you can begin.
Yes. I would prefer going to cinema because we can go, we can chill, we can relax, we can stay together and share different opinions about the movie. Whereas going to shopping mall is also fun, but what type of person I am like a window shopping person. If I like, for example, some sort of item or like a bag, I would just look at it for 2 minutes straight and just wonder where would I carry it, what would I put inside, how will I style it. I take 2 minutes to observe everything in the shopping mall. Whereas my friends, they really like shopping. So like if they don't like one thing, they will not take 1 minute, they will just rush to another thing and they will, rush through whole market, which creates a lot of, hectic in me. And I want whenever I'm like shopping with my friends or whenever I'm going out anywhere with my friends, I want them to stick with me so it doesn't create a lot of mess. So relaxing and chilling and sitting in one place is what I prefer. So going to cinema is better.
Okay, so you said that when your friends are just like, going about from shop to shop, you said that it creates hectic in you. So, right, I
So that
believe,
creates mess.
I mean, I'm guessing what you're trying to say is that you find it very hectic. So you could say, I find that very hectic and difficult to keep up with, right? And then you also
Yes.
said that it creates a mess. I don't know what exactly you mean by that, right? But we could say that, when they're shopping, they're generally very disorganized, right?
Yeah, I can say.
They're just jumping from shop to shop, and it seems like they don't really know
From
what,
aisle to aisle, yeah.
yeah, they don't really know what they're looking for. They're looking at everything at the same time, right? If they, come across something they like. And then you could mention, in the cinema, as you said, I can sit in one place, we can chill, we can have popcorn, we can enjoy what would hopefully be a good story in the movie, right? And
Yeah.
even if it's not, right, it will just be a fun experience for us. We can joke about it later, right? So I
Oh my
think
god, I can't think of that much, sir, in 1 minute.
you have to,
Oh,
you have to,
how
right?
will
And I mean, I feel that if you have enough practice, even if you haven't thought like of those points in 1 minute, when you start talking about a point, your brain is still working. It's not like it's switched off. It's not like a microwave that you're heating something for a minute and then will turn off and stop heating. Okay, so right, when you think of those points and you start talking, then hopefully, right, your brain is still processing, and it will give you a few more ideas on the go.
on the book?
On the go, as in while you're talking,
On the
right? But again,
Alright.
right, for all of this, you need to be practicing beyond what we are doing in class.
Yeah, I can tell.
You need to put in that extra time, and I've gone over that several times, the way you can do it. So, right, you should be doing that, right? And also,
Oh,
yeah, so you have 2 minutes to talk about it. I think it was a bit shorter than 2 minutes, right? So you again, right, like ideally you either utilize the maximum time or you keep talking and the examiner has to tell you to stop, right? And that way you know that you have utilized the maximum time available for your response, right?
yeah.
and
So,
and
but
and
I thought that if I would go beyond the time, like for example 3 minutes, I will get marks deducted.
never. Cambridge does not have a negative marking policy, right, in any paper, whether it's O level, whether it's IGCSE, whether it's A level. There is no negative marking. Okay, so you don't lose marks just because you got a like wrong answers don't, right? You don't get marks deducted because it's wrong. If it's wrong, you don't get the marks. That's it. So there's no, oh, -2 out of 4. There's nothing like that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Uh, so yes, right. You keep talking. When time is up, the examiner will stop you. And again, I've said that so many, like I've said that time and again. If the examiner stops you, it's not because you said something wrong. It's because time is up and they need to move on to the next question. Right? So don't feel
Okay.
bad. Oh, they stopped me. I did something wrong. You did nothing wrong. They stopped you because time, right, is up. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Final part of the speaking. And right. And this is like a carry on of the question that we just dealt with. Right. So, Ima, do you think young people have enough free time nowadays? Why or why not?
I don't think so because nowadays people are having, like young people especially, are having a lot to study, a lot to focus on more things since there are more things now. For example, some people are having different, series to watch. Some people are having a lot of homework to do. Some people are having different curricular activities to do, different communities to take part in nowadays.
Okay. Some people say that we should do all our shopping in small local shops. What is your opinion?
I don't really agree with that because shopping in small local shops sometimes, like if you have to find something like a machine or something, a machine to, for your kitchen, or machine for your food or something, they are not really usually available in your local supermarket or shopping shop, small shops. So you have to go to a bigger area, like a capital area, to find variety. Also, the variety is not there in small shopping malls. Only one item is there in most, but rarely there are a lot of varieties.
Okay. What do you think is the best way to make new friends?
I think the best way to make new friends is to communicate. Whenever you have to make new friends, or whenever you are like, you have to get along to someone, you have to communicate. For example, if you can see that the person is struggling, just communicate them, ask them, and help them. Helping and communicating to different people can create a special bond, whether it's friendship or something else.
And finally, people should turn off their phones in the cinema. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, they should. Since you're at the cinema, you know what you're doing. You're here to spend time with your friends or with your family, or whether if you're just alone. You're here and you paid for it. You paid to watch a particular movie or anything you're here for. Just enjoy that time. It's not always necessary to go through your phone everywhere. Whenever you are in the cinema or somewhere else which you paid for, just enjoy the experience. Don't go over your phone.
And we are done with that. And
So
that
these
was,
points were good.
yes, your
I
responses.
did good.
Yes, your responses were good. You were fluent
Thank
and
God.
you didn't get stuck and you sounded much more confident.
Yes, because
I,
I was using my hand.
there you go, right? So that's good. All right.
Also, sir, I
Yeah.
wanted to tell you something that
Yeah.
the other day I was talking to my mom about this, like why I'm struggling in speaking English, and she said because whenever examiner asks me something, like for example, you asked me where I've been in my last trip, like there are a lot of points in my head which I just want to, tell you in in a very rush speed. So I get stuck and also I mess up. And she says that this is like a genetic problem. Like she is having it, my grandma is having it, everyone is having it.
Ah, uh,
Yeah. So
okay. So what you can try to do is, just you could not rush. Okay. So again,
yeah,
so again, right? Just start telling, like, okay, fine. You want to tell me all those points? Start telling me one by one, but just think about what you're saying, and don't stop until the examiner doesn't stop you. right?
Alright, I will
So
try.
when we come to March, I believe, right? Uh, or perhaps next month, so sometime next month, what we're going to do is shift over to timed practice, right?
Can't practice.
Yeah, timed practice. So if this discussion part is 4 minutes long, I'm going to only, try and complete this in 4 minutes. And for that, I will stop your response. So again, you need to like just keep yourself composed. You're trying to give me as much information as possible, not quickly, but calmly.
But
Okay.
so there is also other thing that if I have this thing that I have to speak non-stop for 4 minutes, I keep on repeating the same points.
And that is right why we are practicing, right? So you don't want to repeat the same points, obviously. So you just said you got a lot to tell me,
Yeah,
right? And so right, we will practice, and if that happens, I'll stop you and point it out, like, no, you are, or after your response I was like, no, you repeated this point like 3 times, right?
yeah,
And so we want to give a new point, and then I'll ask you, right, okay, what else could you have said, right, without having to repeat the same thing 3 times. Okay, so we'll work
yeah.
on that. We'll work when that happens. We'll work on it.
Alright, sir.
Okay, anything else?
No, sir. Thank you so much. And sir, what were the like juicy points you just told me earlier that I could mention in Harry Potter?
About Harry Potter, right? That he is supposed to be the chosen child who
Yeah,
will defeat the big bad guy, and the big bad guy has sent this, secret, you know, assassin to kill Harry, and he makes friends and goes on adventures, and all the things that he experiences in his first year, right?
yeah,
Makes enemies as well.
yeah. And he is also like
He
the
all
hidden gem of the Hogwarts. And
and
he finds out when he enters the school, and he is why he is famous.
yeah,
He gets to know that.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Should have.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then I'll see you guys next time. I will post written work for you on Google Classroom. I'll let you know when that's up. In case I haven't done it by Friday, then do remind me.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Love is sir.
Allah